manager and your boyfriend. It's like, oh shit, she hasn't talked about the future in a while, and every time I bring it up, she kind of gets a little cagey. Like maybe something's up.
Yeah.
Thanks for your concern.
Welcome back to Thanks to Your Concern. You're here with Ella.
And I'm Berenice. Ella, it's good to see you. It's been a bit.
It's been a bit. You've been gallivanting across the eastern coast. How was Elements?
Elements. Elements was good. For people that don't know, Elements is a EDM music festival in the Poconos in Philadelphia. It's been growing. It started as like city parties, and then it like started becoming like a bigger festival. They do it in the Poconos. I feel like it's like their first few years in this venue.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked with some of the organizers before, so I was like, all right, maybe it's time to see if festival production is where it's at. I've been a little rave slave for most of my life, and I feel like now it doesn't call to me as much as it used to, but I still love the energy, the vibes, the space, the whimsy of it all. And I was like, maybe this experience will like put me in the trajectory of staying within this world, but in a different way. I ended up volunteering for 3 days, and the thing that had happened was like, in my mind, right, I was like, I'm going to be so prepared for this. I have so much time. I really did not have that much time coming back from Electric Forest to this. And my friends asked me to make them some outfits. A layer that was added to this is my friends, they're a couple, and one of them was like, I'm going to propose to the other at Elements with these outfits you're making. And I feel like that added a little bit of a layer of pressure where decisions weren't being made as quickly, because I was like, okay, one thing is a festival outfit, and one thing is like they're gonna have like a photographer shoot this moment forever. So I have to make sure these look like great. So I think that it just took me a little bit longer to figure that out. And in doing that, I just did not have a lot of time to like pack or do these other things that I probably should have done prior to this festival. So I got sick, as I often do when I'm stressed out. Your girl gets bronchitis.
Yeah.
Like right before. So I was slightly miserable like the days leading up to it. However, like fits looked great. All of that went really well. But when I got there, I was already like not sleeping well, not feeling great. And then they only really required you to do 5-hour shifts as volunteers. But I was like, I'm ready. Like, put me in. I love this shit. I really do love making arts and crafts. And like, I'm remote. Like, we're in the middle of nowhere. I barely have cell reception. I forgot a portable charger. I forgot a lamp. Like, I am not in like a comfy tent. So like, why would I just like chill?
Yeah.
So I just decided to like work a lot for no reason. It was cool. I like the vibes. It's definitely something I would never do for free again.
This seems to be a theme. Work is work, baby.
Okay, work is work. And I think like, I think like free labor and these opportunities that sometimes like the first time you do for free, it's nice to like get the vibes, because money really does talk. I feel like it has to be worth it. I am very in tune with like how physically demanding some jobs are on your body. And I can definitely see how like, if you're in the sun for like all day doing like hard labor, your body's just like aging rapidly. Okay.
You aged 10 years in a day.
And I feel like that costs more money.
Yes.
Okay? It has to. But it was a cool experience. I got to meet some cool people that do some cool things in the other parts of like the country, which I thought was really cool. I met a gal that does like drapery in LA for some like high profile people. And she was also like, in production of Elements. So it was cool in that aspect to be surrounded by like so many creative people. But I was exhausted.
I applaud you for doing this, but I feel like if anyone's listening to this and they're like 20 years old, they should start doing like this type of opportunities. I think I was actually kind of reflecting on opportunities I didn't take when like I was young, like I was thinking about
oh yeah,
like they had like free art classes and like free music production classes that I've always thought about taking but didn't, and now I'm like too old to do it for free. Not that I would like the classes are for people under 25, you know, like not and so I was like, God, I wish I had taken that opportunity. And so I feel like this is like a thing where like I feel like volunteering for a 3-day festival is like primo young 20s energy.
100%. And maybe it would have led me into a different direction. But honestly, like I feel like I was too much of a fuck earlier in my life to like be volunteering and fair, you know. I feel like that's just tale as old as time. Sometimes I see young people now and I'm like, please go study abroad, like just do it. And they're like, I can't, I have a boyfriend. And I'm like, he doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. They're like, no one is going to give you scholarship money and like provide you these like
Yeah,
very feasible opportunities later in life. But you know, you have to live authentically.
definitely.
So Elements was a go. It was good. I do believe that like if I were to go to another festival in just like the hee hee ha ha setting, I would have to be very comfortable, like RV right next to the stage, a very planned out, thorough trip. I'm just not in my body's just not. It's not feeling the same.
Yeah, I mean, last time I went to Coachella, I literally was like, I could never do this unless I have a shit ton of money to blow, just because camping in the heat is just another, it's just, you know what? I love camping. I actually think, but I think camping when it's inaccessible, i.e., it's really expensive because you have to like get a shit, like ice every single day. Um, the showers are $5. Like all this shit is like, dude, I'd rather just go camping for free in the Pacific Northwest for 3 days than what the camping is here. You just have to have so much to be comfortable. It kind of takes the joy out of camping for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it in the same realm as like camping, because like that you're a lot more comfortable camping in the woods. Here is
Yes.
just like a temporary housing situation that will get you to the festival, and that's very different. Just because everything is uncomfortable, but I was busy. I was booked and busy. I was out here doing photo shoots and like helping friends out, and I enjoy that aspect of it. Like I've been through enough festivals to feel like I don't have FOMO about missing artists or not seeing artists. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, they're fun, but like I've seen this people and I've had these opportunities before. So, you know, we're just like looking for some new vibes and new opportunities. And but I would love to work for people at festivals. Like, send me on a brand trip, no problem.
You know, it's funny. I'm saying like I'm never going to Coachella again. There's like a rumor that Miley Cyrus is headlining Coachella, and I might have to go just because like
It hit
in
me
the
like a wrecking ball. Yeah.
in this life there's very few people I haven't seen, like like bless up, you know, that I have gone to almost every concert ever, but like I think Dolly Parton and Miley Cyrus I have set on my list, like those people are people that I would just like really like to pay to see, and Lady Gaga too, but like she's so expensive. But the Dolly Parton, Miley Cyrus are kind of like my white whales. So I say I won't go to Coachella again, but like maybe I'll be manifesting Miley Cyrus at Coachella this year.
Well, you know, if you're out there listening to this, sponsor us. We'd love to go to Coachella on different terms.
All right, you
In
guys.
that, yeah.
Yeah, we have a fun episode. I just saw this person talking about like all the jobs they've ever done, and they were like kind of random and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I've had so many random jobs. And I wanted to like share our job experience and
Things
mostly
we've
funny
done for money.
stories, things we've done for money, and just funny stories around that. Let's get into it. What was your first job? I think I know, but what was your first job?
I pack groceries for Red Apple in a bougie part of Seattle.
R.I.P. Red Apple.
RIP Red Apple. But the pay, I think, was like above minimum wage, and it was like at the sweet spot. And also it was just summers because my parents didn't want me to like work and go to school, but they were like, you can work during the summer. What about you?
My first real job is I worked at my church nursery
Oh,
childcare. I was into childcare for most of my like adult life. I low-key had so much fun. Like I would just hang out with kids, you know. I love myself some goldfish. Like I legitimately, it makes me sad because I think I would definitely work with kids if it wasn't some of the lower salary work.
well, it depends where you're at. You could be a nanny here for like six figures.
It gets weird once you start making that much money to watch people's kids. I'll tell you
And
something about being a nanny that's tough is you can't make any decisions, like really. Like you can't make parenting decisions. Like you're not their parent. You're their parent's
yeah,
employee. And I think employee relationships when you're in the home get a little weird.
I think some. I think it depends on the family. I will say, like I've had friends who are like nannies and PAs and au pairs and all that, and some like really like it. Some get like really good families, and then some is like more of a shit show. So I think there's one of the other, but there's something nice about the fact that they're not your kids.
Yeah, and
You
like
know?
you get to do the fun stuff, right? Like being a summer nanny, I got to go to the zoo once a week. I took these kids to the movie theater. We what else did we go do? Like the aquarium, and someone pays you. So you're getting clocking in the hours, you're getting your ticket paid for, and all you have to do is like keep two children alive, which I have the skill set to accomplish. I've not lost a child yet, knock on wood.
It's not that hard. It's
No.
not that hard to keep them alive, to keep them entertained. You just gotta be like patient and you gotta be like a little whimsy. I'm good with kids because like I'm a whimsy ass bitch, and kids are just like very easy in the fact that like they just want to be heard. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
if you just ask them about like anything they care about, they can just like go for hours. So I think in that sense, it's like really easy to just get along with kids if you're like down to entertain the things that they like.
I did quit one family. I did quit one
Oh,
family.
was it really bad?
There's just a point where like I literally felt like I was like it was a movie, like how haggard I would be after spending time with these kids for a certain amount of time. I won't say there were some badass kids, but they were some badass kids. Like they just were like they were just not like bad in a toxic way, but it was just like 4-year-old, 5-year-old boy, and they were just troublemakers. And so one time I'd been basically trying to keep them from killing themselves all fucking day, and I finally get them down for nap time, and I'm like sitting on the couch, and like if vapes had been a thing, I would have been fucking ripping on a vape, but I wasn't. So I was just sitting there kind of like shocked through the day, and I just hear this whispering, and like whispering's not good. Okay, so post bed whispering's not good. I go over to the banister, and I hear like no, 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 like we'll scare her, like oh, we'll get her in trouble. And the one of the boys puts the other boy on the banister and has him hold on dangling off of like second story banister off the railing of the fucking landing, and is just holding on for dear life. And I literally had to like catch him from the second floor. And I was like, why'd you guys do that? Like, I wanted to get you in trouble by getting hurt. And I was like, yeah, this is not worth $12 an hour. And so I told their parents, I was like, I'm gonna be so real. No tea, no shade. It's not worth the money. And they're like, oh my God, you're like the fifth babysitter. We can't keep a babysitter. And I was like, I can tell why. You guys need to be paying like $30 an hour for these two gremlins.
I didn't get any demon children. I got some that like really like to wrestle, and I like obviously they would like
A
you
couple
know.
wrestlers.
Yeah, I did not love any dynamics where the parent was home because it made it really hard to create that boundary of
Mhm.
like, daddy's working, even though you can see him through there and he's being kind of mean to you. I can like understand that you want that separation, but like honestly, I'm judging you if as a parent you're mean to your kid when you like work from home and they can like visibly see that you're there. Like, what do you mean? Like, you need to get away from me. Like, that's your kid, bro, and you're choosing to work from in here. That's your choice. So like, don't be a dick to your kid. You know what I mean? I
You,
judged many parents.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I think my time with childcare ended when one time I came in as a 16-year-old babysitter, and the second the mom left, one of the little boys shit themselves. And I was like, I need to call the mom back because I don't feel like I don't want to clean shit. This was not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
I'm not into it. I also had another family, same family that like had the dad was working there. Be like, well, if you're like the kids are taking naps, like you could wash the dishes. And I was like, no, I just don't think that's part of the job. Why am I doing your chores? That costs more money.
Childcare is expensive. And people are like, it's just them watching kids. No, bro, this is a job like any other job. Okay. And some
Yeah.
jobs, they have their trade-offs. I feel like my next job was at a tanning salon.
Ooh.
I worked at that tanning salon for a long ass time. It was a good trade-off because during downtime I could do my homework. I wasn't supposed to, but like you can only clean for so long. Like literally there's like this place was spotless and I was like, "All right, this place is spotless. Now's my time to do homework." And so that's the reason I kept that job. I kept that job until I moved out of Seattle. And I came back and I got that job back cuz it was literally good money. I loved that tanning salon, shout out. But
The
weird shit.
tanning salon where was that? Was it like commission based?
Yeah, it was commission and it was hourly, and my hourly was over the minimum wage. I will say there was some weird shit that goes on because anywhere where people get naked, this might seem so counterintuitive, but anywhere where people get naked, weird shit happens, okay?
How so?
People test boundaries. So we would have dudes be like, "Can you put lotion on my back?" Mm-mm. No, sir. Mm-mm. You
Get
would
away from me.
have you would have like prank callers call and be like, "How many people are naked at the tanning salon right now?" I'm telling you, it's one of those weird jobs that like weird shit happens.
Okay.
Oh, and people would piss in the trash cans
Why?
because they would get naked, they'd get lotioned up, they would need to pee, they don't want to put their clothes back on, so they piss in trash cans. It would happen. Okay.
Ew.
It was more of a gross job because you're cleaning up sweat. I did make a lot of money, and I remember one time I was like, "This is the lotion I use," and this girl, she was like redheaded and freckly, and she was like, "Yeah," and because she was like complaining she wasn't getting a good tan, I was like, "Well, this is the lotion you should use. This is what I use," and she's like, "Yeah, but you're like,"
Brown.
and I was like, "I am like what?" And she was like, and I was like, "I am a white woman. This is due to the tanning lotion."
Okay, so we were lying.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You see this? This is
This is
produced
a lotion,
melanin.
baby.
This is lotion. This is not natural. That's funny. Yeah, out here gaslighting white women into buying spray tan.
But it was also good lotion. I was the number one seller of Snooki tanning lotion in the country. And I got to
Period.
meet Snooki. And she is tiny, y'all. Like I'm 5'1". And so when I am like towering over someone, that's crazy.
Yeah, I have a few small friends where I don't feel like I'm towering over them, and then I see pictures of us, and I'm like, damn.
What'd you do after Red Apple?
Things I've done for money. I've definitely worked at an ice cream shop. I hit up Baskin Robbins, and I really tested the limits there. This is probably prime time fuckery of my high school years, and I definitely pushed those boundaries. They did implement like the 3-strike rule while I was working there because there were so many fuck ups, but I did not get fired. They were just some incidents I accidentally messed with. Well, okay, so did I do that? Unclear. I was, because 2 people always closed, and it wasn't like we had each responsibilities, that they were shared responsibilities.
Right.
But during my shifts with another person, yes, we did not like close the store. Like, I just don't know why you would leave like 2 high school students unsupervised to like run an ice cream shop. That seems like a bad idea. But whatever, that's what happened. And at closing, one time accidentally the front door was left unlocked. Lights were on, somebody came in, they didn't steal it, but there was just nothing to steal. It was like an ice cream shop. Like, money was put like in a little vault, and like everything else was like ice cream. So that was one. Another one was, one of us did not like put the safety lock on the freezer, so all the ice cream like melted overnight.
Ooh, that's a big fuck up.
That was a big fuck up. I cannot confirm that was me. And if I knew that, I would own up to it, because I will own up to my mistakes, but I cannot confirm or deny that was my bad. And that's kind of why it was ambiguous of who it was, because I couldn't actually recall if I had done that or not. Like, I was like, did I close the door that day, or did she?
And was she the same, where she couldn't remember?
No, it wasn't. We could not remember, just because like you're trying to get out of there. It's like you have 15 minutes to close. It was not in like a cute area either. And like if your ride was there, aka whatever high school boy you were talking to at the time was going to drive you home, then you need to get out of there. Yeah, so the fuckery was done there. Nothing major. After that, I did work at Nordstrom in 2 different sort of like capacities. One, I worked in Nordstrom as like a sales girly, temporary for the summer, and I used to hide in the storage closet because retail's just not for me.
It's a tough grind.
It's exhausting and it's weird. I hate fake interactions, and I feel like retail is like fake interactions number one. Like I couldn't feel like I was authentically myself in that position.
Retail, I think people think it's easy, but I don't. I think there's a specific skill set that's really necessary to like not want to like quit. Like I just think there's a really specific skill set that not everybody has when it comes to retail. I think a lot of people would crash out on people at retail because people ask the craziest thing and act super fucking nuts, like customers. Like angry customers can feel very entitled, and like I just remember this one time where people were like, I deserve a refund. And I was like, okay, so like, here's the reason why I can't give you a refund. So do you see this tag that says must be attached to dress to get a refund? You don't have the tag. The tags are off the dress. And so and they're like, this is fucking outrageous that anyone would treat me like this. I was like, okay, well, I can call a manager over and see if they tell you anything different. I don't think they will, but like, I surely can do that. And they literally were like, basically, like, like, I'm a paying customer. You just fucking work here. Like, the customer's always right. And basically, like, making me feel like shit because I'm working behind the desk of a retail store. I think a lot of people would crash out. I think a lot of people wouldn't have handled it as sweetly and nicely as I did. And for people to do
That's true.
that day after day, year after year.
Yeah. I will say though, the only part of Nordstrom that I really liked was like the personal shopper aspect. Is that if you met somebody that vibe with you, you could go shopping with them. Like, let me show you where other things are, and you
Yeah.
could leave your post, which is like ideal. Like, I never wanted to be there. So any Spanish customer that like came into this fucking store that didn't speak English, like when you had tourists coming in, they'd come find me. Like, we need somebody that speaks Spanish, and I was like, perfect, gotta go, like gotta jet. And I'm like, what else are you guys buying? Because like I would rather like kick it with you all and like take a little spin around this massive store than like sit there and ask women if they need help and they don't even want to be bothered. You know what I mean? And then yeah, like after that, we did, both of us get to work at Nordstrom at corporate.
Yes.
This one we talk about, I feel like, a lot because this was like our mutual working experience.
I don't think we named the place. This is
It's fine.
new
Like,
lore just dropped. You can see it on my
yes.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, it's not a secret. And honestly, it wasn't that bad of a gig. It was pretty easy.
It changed over time, and I don't think I had the boundary setting that I do now. I think if I went back in time, I would have fucking not cussed my manager out, but I would have just been like a little bit more firm with like, these expectations are ridiculous, so I'm not gonna meet them. So instead, I would like pretended that I was like, okay, yeah, I will respond to 200 emails within 24 hours, even though that would take up a full fucking job. I pretended like I was trying to play ball. I think I would have been a little bit more pushback.
For me, with Nordstrom, our thing started as like merchandising specialists. We were contractors from the get go. It was not giving that much money. I think we were getting paid like $16 an hour when we were contractors. It was right after college. Went through this like contracting agency in the middle of nowhere. Literally, I replied to a Craigslist ad and I showed up somewhere. I think it was like Redmond. Obscure. I'm telling you, no info. I was like, hope I don't get snatched, but like, here we are. Ended up being a pretty good opportunity. Got a lot of my friends into this job mainly because I was bored and I really wanted my homies to work with me. It wasn't bad. It was in downtown Seattle, like right next to like their big flagship store. They have other corporate offices. And honestly, they were pretty lenient because they just required you to be in the office for 8 hours, but they did not give a fuck what time you got there. So like people would get there at the crack of dawn, like 6, 7 a.m. so they could leave by 3 p.m., which honestly, genius. Yeah.
There was like this one OG, and she'd worked for Nordstrom for 50, like literally 50 years, like dead ass. She's been working for Nordstrom for so long. She would get to the office by like 5:15, and she would be like leaving at like 2:15. And when the pandemic happened, She has such a good attitude. And when the pandemic happened, they were like offering people like early retirement. And she was like, deuces. And I was like, oh man, she was an OG. She was helpful. She had a good attitude. And I was like, probably because her life like was pretty tight. Like, you know, because she literally was like, I get up at 4:45. I get here, I leave my house by 5. I'm here at 5:15. I leave by 2:15, and then I enjoy the rest of my life. I'm like, oh, great.
It was kind of like an entry level job, but like the people that worked in our division were just like a really big age range. So it was just like a really interesting team dynamic where there were like older people ready for the retirement time, and there were people like straight out of college doing the exact same job.
Well, and you know, like I was just talking about this, but like the CEO, like Mr. Nordstrom, I forget his first name, but he was like
Mr. Norris.
Mr. Nordstrom. I forget which Nordstrom it was, but he was like, in the workforce, you have people who want to be superstars, that want to rise above. And like, that is great. We need those people. But we also need people who just like want to stay at their job. So if you did your job, they really didn't bother you. Like, I feel like a lot of workplaces, they're like, you have to go above and beyond and da 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 da. If you were like, if you just did your job, they left you alone for the most part.
Yeah, if you did it well. And
Yeah.
I actually feel like that was something nice about it there. They didn't necessarily care if you wanted to like super excel, as long
Yeah.
as like you were doing okay, they were okay.
Yeah.
No one here was like, how are we going to beat your last week's goal? They were just like, last week was shit. Let's do better this week. And we're moving on with it.
Yeah.
I will say there was a lot of restructure. Did not love that during the pandemic. I had about 7 different like supervisors. I fucking hated that because some people I got along with really well, and then some people I just did not like, and the different supervisors lead different expectations. Hate that.
We moved along around a lot. I had one manager for 5 months. He was like, okay, yeah, I'll be scheduling touch bases. I'll be scheduling touch bases. And then I got a new manager, and someone was like, I hope, like, you know, I know that you probably had a relationship with your old manager. And I was like, I literally had never spoken to him one on one before. And they were like, are you serious? I was like, yes. And they're like, oh, well, okay.
Everybody leads differently, and not everyone should be a leader. Okay, that's where I learned from there. Ultimately, it wasn't a bad job, and it's one of those things where they made the position fully remote. Looking back, I feel like that's the best like out of college job, where like if you want to travel and not live in like really high rent cities, that's perfect. You can coast.
Would have been a great job if I lived in Iowa.
Oh, 100%. Florida. But here, not so much. And that's kind of what happened. It's like when I moved to New York, I just realized like I need more money, and I actually don't like love this. It was like an office job, and all you really did was like Excel sheets all day. Not for me. And immediately I transitioned into like trying to do more of like this. Well, first I wanted to go into design here, and then I realized that that wasn't going to pay me any more money. So I was like, okay, maybe we do some like food industry things for a while, and then start doing my own thing creatively, because you know, you move to New York and you can do anything you want here. And that's like the amazing part, where it's like if I wanted to go into fucking, I don't know, acting, comedy, anything, you can do that, but you need to also work in the service industry to some extent, at least when you get your footing. You know, a lot of people move here and that's what they do. They're like bottle service or anything that like works the hours where you're not gonna try to do your other thing that you're growing in.
I ultimately left because like you just have to be there for so long to move up. And like I remember applying to jobs and they're like, oh, you're just so green. And I had been there for like 2.5 years at that point. And I was like, green at 2.5 years. And so then I just kind of like did like a LinkedIn rabbit hole where I was looking at people who had moved up in the company, and I was like, God, this is gonna take me so much longer to make more money. And I was like, I just feel like this is not enough money. Like, and so I just job hopped because I just wanted more enough money.
I bet you could reapply to Nordstrom. I feel like you left on good terms. My endings in companies is like when they know I've checked out, but I'm not fired. I'm not let go. They just like know, and we have meetings about like, do you like, where do you see yourself? And it comes to the point where like we don't play the game anymore, where I'm like, well, you know, like anytime I had a touch base where like people would kind of like clock me on where do you see yourself, I don't love to lie. Maybe I'll lie at a job interview, but like past that, when I have like a one-on-one relationship with someone, I just spin it. Like I don't even answer the question. I just like, and then we're talking about you now. And then I never have to answer the question. And it just came to the point where like I just didn't even want to do that. So I feel like at Nordstrom they knew that. And then also at my next corporate job, similarly.
Yeah, there gets to a point when you stop talking about the future. It's kind of like your like manager and your boyfriend. It's like, oh shit, she hasn't talked about the future in a while, and every time I bring it up, she kind of gets a little cagey. Like maybe something's up, you know. The
It's
breakup
like,
came out of
no, we
nowhere,
shouldn't
you
plan
know.
that trip. I actually don't think I could go across the country with you in 6 months because I just like, I don't know,
Yeah,
like that seems so crazy. But like, tell me, what do you want to have for lunch?
literally, it's the exact same conversation, and then that's why like when your manager is like, I had a feeling. It's like, why'd you have a feeling I was gonna quit? It's like you stop talking about the future. It's like, oh, okay.
You stopped talking about coming into work. You started talking about how much you hate it here.
You were like begging me for more vacation days for mental health. Like I knew something was up. I was like, yeah.
Oh, good God. Aside from these like corporate things, and I can with like my Burlington one, I've done some like cute things in between. Like pet
Me
sitting's been
too.
lit. I like pet sitting.
The whole resale game. I've been big on
Depop.
Depop. I've gone through a lot of phases in my life where I'm reselling clothing. Okay, I'm in that phase right now. Does it mean there's a mental low? Maybe, maybe not. It's just more like I I get like really fixated on purging, and then I realize you can make some good money because I'm like, dang, I got this at Goodwill for half this. I'm flipping shit.
There was a point where I was like, oh, I'm not doing great financially. And I sold a lot of things and things that like have taken me a while to get rid of. And I don't miss any of them. I'm just like, oh, wow, should have done that before.
There's something about selling a bunch of stuff for 20 bucks on Facebook. It is a lot of work, like to meet up with people to like, not a lot of work. I will say it's not. I will say the one thing about things I've done for money, I have not found something that is easy money besides like the stock market, and you need money for that. So like I don't really have any side hustles where I could be like, "Oh, it's so easy." Like it is easy relative to like hard manual labor, but work is work, baby.
Pet sitting doesn't feel like work. I feel like that's been the only one where I'm like, oh, you're going to pay me to go hang out with a dog.
I've never done that one, so maybe I should try.
I have some good gigs still from that. Because last summer when I like quit my last job, I was like freaking out. And I did get blocked from WAG once because I took it off the app. Granted, they do take like 40% of like they commission 40% of your rate, which is bullshit. Okay. So yeah, they did catch me on one and then they blocked me for 20 days. But Clementine was worth it.
I mean, 20 days isn't too bad.
No, it wasn't. And I was just like, well, it is what it is. I've had some like crazy ass dogs, I will say. Like, you know, it's bad when you walk into somebody's house and they're in kennels. Why are they in kennels? Like, why are they not trusted babies in your apartment? Is because they're nuts. And like, you get them out of the kennels and like fireworks. Like, these dogs just don't know how to act. I have fun with those, but with some I'm like, I don't know if you have a camera inside of your house, but you should watch that back. And it's me trying to get the fucking collar on a dog, but like they're playing with me. They have me chase them around the entire apartment for like 10 minutes, and I haven't even started this fucking walk yet. But yeah.
Shout out to the dogs.
Shout out to the doggos. Love you. You can't really get mad at a dog. Like, it's not that
No.
serious.
It's really not.
Also had some freelance opportunities like draping and decorating, which led me to like the whole thing with festivals. Those are cool, but those are taxing on your body. Going up a ladder, like up and down right now, I'm getting reached out. I posted a TikTok, and this is why you should post on TikTok, okay? Because anything that they see you do, if it goes viral, you're gonna get reached out for it. Right now I'm getting reached out from like weddings and like people who want draping around their like canopies on their bed and shit. And they're like, how much would this cost me? And to be honest, I don't really know if I want to do that, but like I could.
You got to put yourself out there to make money. You just never know. I went to a conference recently, and I'm networking at this conference. And honestly, I was like, dude, people are making money in ways that literally nobody knows about. And because it's just like a niche thing. And I'm like, God, there's so many ways to make money. Like, don't stop yourself. Anything could be a business if you really put your mind to it. Like a business I've heard about lately is like building AI chatbots for OnlyFans. Okay. Another one was like consulting banks in Asia on software. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, oh, we just literally talk to banks about software all day long. And I'm like, wow, really? It's like, yeah, $1 million. And I'm like, Jesus. Like, it's just kind of crazy.
It is kind of crazy. There are some cool jobs out there. There's fun things that you can get. I mean, the corporate jobs are not, I think if you genuinely like what you're doing, corporate can be for you. But corporate sometimes requires you to do the job before you get the job,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
while you do your own job. And I don't necessarily believe in that. Next, I worked for Burlington Coat Factory as an assistant buyer. And I just know that they did require you to kind of start learning and being like an owner of your business. However, sometimes you had so many bitch responsibilities as in like admin work that it's like I don't know where I would find the time to learn about my boss's job. Like my boss is asking me already to do a lot unless I'm like putting 4 hours of my day to like get a promotion that might come in like 6, 7 months.
That's very common, and I don't think that was as common in the 60s. Like now to like get a promotion, you have to already be doing the job essentially.
Personally, I love my time outside of work. I have very strong, well, I used to, okay. Like a work life balance that I think you need because I've seen what happens to people that don't have that and it makes you ugly. Okay. When you care too much about your job, where you like it's always job, 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 stress, stress, stress. I'm sorry. It's stealing from your aura.
And honestly, I've learned not to do that because, especially in corporate, when you don't have like absolutely any control, because people go to a dark place when they have made work their life and then their work lays them off. Okay. Like I saw someone um, post on Facebook, like after like 50 years at Microsoft or something, they got laid off. And I was like, ooh. And they were like devastated, right? Because this is like part of their identity at this point. And I was like, and they were like, I don't know what to do, da 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 da. Like, and to me, I'm like, well, just like, hopefully retire, right? Like it, but then they were like, no, like I don't know what to do with my life. And I'm like, maybe enjoy it. What the fuck?
How about this?
So keep your
Yes.
hobbies. Don't let your job, and like your job is supposed to allow you to live, right? And I think that's a lesson that I've learned is that like your job pays you a certain amount of money and in so that you can go enjoy your life. If you're not enjoying your life, then like what the fuck are you really doing? Like that's the whole point of the job. Tis not.
I'm one of those people that are delusional, like money comes and goes. Like I can always manifest money. And I truly do believe like so many things come up if you want to make money. And something that helps you do that is becoming a jack of all trades.
Do anything.
When you know how to do a lot of things, it's easier to make money than you think because you can really like dabble.
Being a jack of all trades comes in later in life. I feel like,
Yeah.
like college admission advisors were like, you need to specialize. Like, you're never going to freaking get in anywhere if you're not the best at everything. But now I'm like, oh, thank God I have so many skills. It comes in handy.
Yeah, and so many different work experiences and like
Mm-hmm.
workflows. Like, yes, I do know how to work with others. I've worked with others many, many times in many different team capacities. It always baffles me when people go into industries they don't know nothing about. Like, we have many boutique like coffee shops in New York of people that like want to do something else, but like need a retail space. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I see these things fail so much because not that you cannot open a coffee shop when you've never been into coffee or worked as a barista, but that's probably like good experience to have prior to owning a coffee shop.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's a common reason why restaurants have high turnover as far as like their success and failure rate is because people love to eat, thus they think that they should own a restaurant. But they've never worked in a restaurant. They don't know how to run a restaurant. So things don't work out. And the same thing with bartending. It's like just because you love being at a bar doesn't mean not bartending, but owning a bar. People are like, I would love to own a bar. I'd love to own a bar. It's like just because you like to drink doesn't mean you'd be a good business owner. What the fuck does that,
Actually, the opposite.
Yeah.
I think that is what's gonna make it fail.
Usually, like bar rescue, it's always fucking somebody who's like, I was a regular. The owner mentioned that he was selling, so I bought the bar. And the fucking manager of the bar is like, yeah, the owner's drinking us under the table. We can't fucking.
He never gets anything done.
But you know what? This is my last year being broke. I'm not broke no more, but I'm telling you guys, we're gonna find some creative ways to make money. I think that's my next like move is a crazy job or business that people are gonna be like, oh my god, that makes money, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, millions. Can you believe that? Something wildly niche.
I like that. I think my next ploy to make money is I would really love to get like a costuming job. I think like that would be the next cool job to have. I've thought after this festival experience, sometimes you have to see the job before you know you can do it.
Oh,
And
best
I
advice.
just saw the job. Okay. So I was
Mhm.
like, yes, I could do this. And maybe apply to some experience team for some festivals, maybe even out of the country. I feel like that could be really cool. So the world is full of opportunities.
If you have dreamed a dream and then you do it and you hate it, just give up. Like some jobs you sound like a great idea and then you get into it and it's just not what you thought it was going to be and you feel like, oh, I've been working so hard to get here, but now I hate it. Don't hate your life forever. Cut your losses.
100%. And you can always work on your own crafts on your own time. Like right now, yes, I'm still building my own thing. I honestly, it's gotten a lot easier to get jobs by just focusing on doing the stuff that I want to do and having these opportunities come organically. I'm just looking for a slightly longer contract because I would like to chill out for a little bit. You know,
Mhm.
when you're a little self-made girly, you have to be chasing it consistently. When you have a longer contract, you can relax a little bit. So I think like that's a nice little wiggle room to have. Sometimes I'm just chasing the bag, working on my own projects, and now maybe I want to focus a little bit of my time on a longer contract and do something else that's really cool where I still feel like I'm growing creative.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for this episode. I hope it was fun for y'all to take a little trip down memory lane and maybe get some nuggets of wisdom. Thank you so much for being here this week. We want to see you here next week, so make sure that you like and subscribe and send it to a friend. It helps us out a lot. You can find us on social media at thanks number 4 your concern, and I'm at Ella L Tutor.
And that Berenice and Ella.
Bye.